Anytime we talk about music, we have to start at the beginning with you, TeCheetah. And I want you to tell me, whatever possessed you to get into this crazy business?
Well, I can't say I didn't have a choice because, of course, I've always liked singing. I started singing when I was 5 years old. And my mother and my father and my teacher, as soon as they knew that I can sing, I started out singing Mary Had a Little Lamb. They put me in front of a mic. So it was actually like a little choir in school. And they always gave me the solo parts, the lead parts. And I was just the biggest ham because I used to love to sing. And I'm singing to this day, something I love to do.
Well, that's a great thing. And we all have fond memories of childhood and of our parents being there to watch us. How did your parents influence you? What role did they play in your deciding to take on this career?
They were just very encouraging, always getting me to sing different songs. My mother, most of all, used to always play the Barbra Streisand, Nancy Wilson, Diana Ross records, and then my father used to listen to Vicente Fernandez also in his truck. So I used to always listen to the music, and they kept me a very wide range of culture music, different Hispanic music, and then of course the pop, the rock music. So they played a very big part in my music.
You can't get a bigger chasm, if you will, between Vicente Fernandez and Barbra Streisand.
I know.
There's a lot in between there.
And then, of course, as I started getting older, like the jazz, Nancy Wilson. I love Gershwin. So it's just a lot of things. And Karen Carpenter. So, and of course, Celia Cruz and Gloria Estefan.
So you have a little bit of everything, kind of like a Heinz 57 there. Huh?
Exactly.
Well, obviously your family is very important. Tell us a little bit more about the other part of your family, your brothers and sisters. Tell us a little bit about their involvement.
Well, of course, I was a little princess. So I was the very firstborn of both sides of my family. My mother was the eldest. My father was the eldest. And then I was the first girl born, and then I had two brothers after that. Now, my brothers, of course, one of them, which is the youngest, he sings. But, it's so funny, Pete. It happens that everybody in my family that sings, they're always really intimidated by me. So they never really pursued that at all, But I do have two brothers, and I love them very much. And, of course, one is a truck driver, and the other one works up in a really nice hotel up in the mountains. So they love, and we're all very close family.
Well, there's a reason for them being intimidated. I mean, come on,
Well, I wanted them to kind of, follow my footsteps, but it just didn't happen.
Well, you'll carry the flag for the rest of the family. Tell me a little bit about where you were born and how your upbringing or the area you were in also influenced your music.
I was born in a small little town in California, Farmersville. Farmersville, exactly what it was. It was a town that was just had, you can even, there was even tractors that drove on the street. And my upbringing, well, it was very humble. My parents were farm labor workers, and they used to take me out when I was 5 years old. And on the summer times, instead of enjoying our summers, we used to travel like gypsies, actually. And my father used to have a big machete, and he used to clear the woods and stuff so we can sleep. And we used to pick cherries and oranges and stuff like that. So very humble. My mother always said, if you have money, TeCheetah, always pretend like you don't, because when you don't have it, you won't miss it.
It's very interesting. And of course, did you have any kind of impromptu little theatrical performances as you were traveling and as you were settling down for the night? Did they ever ask you to perform in front of
some yeah, I was their entertainment all the time. I would sing and sing and sing, and I would just make the camp even a more livelier one. So, of course, I was their entertainment. I think that's why they took me along with them, because they had to be entertained. So music is my life, and I live in music.
Well, at some point also, you had to make the transition into actually thinking this could be a profession. So you must have started maybe playing with bands or singing with bands. Tell us a little bit about those beginning roots.
Well, it's funny. The very first band was the Macareno Brothers, and we all lived on a street called Linnell. And everybody knew everybody there. And I started...
Now, these aren't the same guys that started the Macarena dance, is it?
No, it's not. It's not. There were about 4 Macareno brothers, and we started a band at 14 years old. We were called Brown Sugar. And we just thought we were going to go places, and we would have. We really would have. And we were starting to get ready to start gigging around town, and And then one day we got a phone call. One of the Macarena brothers got killed in a car accident. So it was really devastating for me at a very early age. But I really believe that would have been my permanent band, those Macarena brothers.
Okay, and then you transitioned into other bands, or did you start singing on your own from then?
I started singing on my own. I started singing at little nightclubs with other bands, and started, matter of fact, there was a trio that I sang with for a very long time. So that's where I got to start singing a lot of the Spanish music, you know.
Good. We've talked a little bit about your career, and it's important to understand how your career developed because of who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your own personal traits. What makes you perfectly geared for this kind of a career?
Wow. Well, I think that I'm determined, first of all, and I don't like no. Just no is not an answer for me. And like I said, it's been my life. That's all I know. It's like my air, my food, my water, you know. So, and I believe that I was born, well, come on, 5 years old, to entertain. So that's all I know how to do, Pete, is just entertain and make people happy, you know, with my music.
I've heard it through the grapevine, too, that you're picky in certain things. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, I'm very picky about my food, even though I'm a very healthy girl. And they look at me, wait a minute, a girl like that, healthy? Voluptuous. I am a vegetarian, so I'm lactose, and I don't eat red meat and beef and pork, and
that's kind of hard when you're talking about Mexican food too. Huh?
I know it's hard. But hey, but there's chorizo, right? There's chorizo, there's tofu. Now they have all different types. So I'm very picky about what I eat. I'm allergic to certain things. So when I go places, people say, "Oh, she's picky. She's trying to be a diva." No, I'm just trying to take care of my body.
It's a little tough with the carnitas. Now, if they come up with soy carnitas, then I'll jump on that bandwagon.
No, sí tienen soy carnitas.
So they have
de
it?
soya, sí.
Oh,
¿Cómo
okay.
no? Sí tienen.
So we've learned that you're picky, you're very passionate with your music. Tell us a little bit about some of those early icons that you had, the people that you like to listen to, and try to mold your career towards.
Till this day, when I see Barbra Streisand sing, she puts me in tears. Matter of fact, I just saw her in concert on TV, I cry, because she puts so much passion. I'm talking about passion. There are singers and there are singers. Las mujeres y los hombres que cantan, you know what I'm saying? And so Barbra Streisand, Diana Ross, they're very theatrical, you know, with their hands and their movements and their eyes and their lips. And they, you know what, women like that, they always say that the uglier you look when you're singing, the better you sing. And they put so much emotion in it. I used to love, like I said, my father used to listen to Vicente Fernandez, and then there was Edie Gourmet and Chaka Khan. So these are people that I really, really love, and I've molded myself.
Oh, absolutely. And if you liked Sabor a Mi, you had to have heard the Edie Gourmet version of that.
Well, who do you think taught me?
Trio Los Panchos. That played in my house all the time, too, let me tell you. We went through 3 versions of that because it got used so much. So I know where you're coming from with that. Let's talk a little bit about the people you've worked with. On one hand, you have these idols, but then you've also worked with some people that you admire very much, too. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the very first time the very first celebrity, actually, I didn't meet her, but I was so glad that she thought the weather was too hot that day, and I ended up taking her place, which was Evelyn Champagne King. I took her place on a concert. She was supposed to sing the Star Spangled Banner, and since she thought that it was too hot, she took off. And I ended up singing for her. Also, I did a remake of So Fine, which is on this album, and with Howard Johnson. So that was a really big privilege, of course. Teaching him Spanish was another thing. Pero se enseñó cómo hablar español.
Well, that's good. You got to have a little bit of Spanish in you, especially nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. And then, of course, my producer now is Jesse Johnson of The Time, and then David Cochran of the Commodores. So, you know, I'm meeting quite a few celebrities and working with them. I'm very honored, and I feel very privileged to have worked with these people.
And it seems that with all of these people that you work with, you're taking a little bit from each one of them to make what it is that you feel is your musical style nowadays.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Their music just brings out everything in my voice. And I'm very fortunate to be working with them.
Fantastic. And tell us a little bit about your plans for the future. Let's look ahead right now and see what's in the crystal ball for you in the next coming years.
Well, of course, this album, getting that out, going on tour, and hopefully just making the whole world love me. That's all I want to do is just, people say, oh, I want to get rich and famous. I just want to have the world just appreciate my music, because my music, everything that I write all my music, and except for 3 songs on this album, which I was graced by the talent of Jimmy Rodriguez. You know Jimmy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, all the music is about my life and the life experiences that. So I'm hoping that I'll touch a few hearts and open a few doors of memories of people. I make help them heal.
In closing, you're obviously very passionate about your music. Mm-hmm. And tell us how that translates into what you feel is important. What is it that you feel that you want to convey to anybody that listens to your music about you?
That there's a beginning and there's an end, and at the end there's a rainbow. That don't take life too seriously, because in the end we're all going to go to the same place and we're all going to be happy. So while we're here on this earth, make everything what you want to make it, and make things the best that they possibly can. Don't stress, and I try as much as I possibly can not to stress, of course. And that's what is in my music. Life is beautiful, and life is what you make of it.
That's a beautiful concept, and obviously goes well with the beautiful voice. Congratulations, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Pete.